Jim actually has a background behind him, but you can also do it by with a on the computer on the Zoom program.
Maybe I should do
I
that.
don't have a computer.
So I don't know. I actually haven't been using. I only have the Blur. I used to have some here, and then I had a picture of myself with the crown from a couple years ago when we did a concert on Zoom for the church.
Oh, that was when Reverend Sidney was still up in Oregon.
Yes, I had a tiara on. It was Mark and I. Mark had a bow tie on. We were both dressed up, and it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time.
I see Jim now has the fireplace.
The what?
Jim now has a fireplace behind him.
There you go. Yep. Oh, sometimes he's on a desert island. You never know where Jim's going to be next with his background.
Well,
makes life a lot of fun.
When the services are on, I put this one on. And other times I'll do islands. Yeah.
I have to tell you, I think I warmed up 2 or 3 degrees when I saw that fireplace behind you.
All right, that's a good thing. In this kind of cold weather.
Look who's here.
He's had a haircut.
Where are you, Mark? Are you in Palm Springs?
I am. I'm at our condo in Palm Springs.
Nice.
How's Jeff doing?
I'm sorry?
How is Jeffrey doing?
Thank you for asking, Kara James. He's doing, he's much improved. You know, he's able to do almost everything by himself now. He's not lifting with the bad wrist, but almost everything else. He's got like showering down and getting dressed. He even drove here to Palm Springs by himself with the 2 cats.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he
didn't have the surgery?
He did have the surgery, and they put another cast on after the like a week or 10 days after the surgery. They put a different cast on, and that helped him a little bit with his mobility. The cast, it's at his left hand. The cast goes like to here, so he has some finger movement, which has helped tremendously.
Is he able to work?
Yes, he's back at work. I think he went back to work. Well, we had vacation last week. We were in Sedona. Was that last week?
Oh, yeah,
yeah, I think it was the week before. But as soon as we got back from Sedona and the Grand Canyon, then he was back at work.
I think you were in Sedona when I was in Maui. I went on the first.
The wedding was December 1st. You're right. We overlapped exactly. And we got back, I think, on the 4th. We drove back on the 4th.
I love Sedona. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you were there. We would have such a good time. Well, of course, I can't really hike or walk far right now, but there's other little fun things to do that are just, like the local snow. It's just kind of cool.
And don't you have a... Yeah, it's beautiful. Barbara, don't you have is it your son or grandson
My grandson lives there. He's starting a cold pressed juice business in March called Sedona Juice Company.
I
Um,
remember.
yeah, yeah, and he's the one who actually took me to Maui for my birthday.
Excellent.
A couple months late. Was
But it
lovely.
looked like, from the pictures, it looked like you had such a wonderful time.
I had such a great. He has friends over there. Any place there's timeshares, he knows people. So we had dinner with people quite a few nights, and we went snorkeling with a couple, the couple and Joe and little Croy, who's 6, and I. So I have to tell you about Croy. He's 6. So he gets out of the back and he opens the door for me.
I'm just standing here talking and pretending there's nothing else happening. Good evening and welcome to the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. I'm so glad you're here. I am Reverend Steen, and this is, what a wonderful time that we get to be together. So if you have joined us here in the sanctuary, or you are participating through Zoom, Facebook, or YouTube, I'm just really glad you're here. Please go to the chat, you live streamers, and let us know where you're from. And I think what I'd like to do is also, for those of you who are here in person, do me a favor and silence your cell phones. And we're going to begin our service with a meditation. We're going to come together for about 10 minutes in a silent meditation. And I invite you to just become present where you are, to simply become conscious of your body, of the chair. Breathe in the presence of God in, as, and around you. And just observe the silence. Observe all that you are. Just loving it. And if your mind wanders, perhaps say to yourself silently, God's the love that I am. God's the love that I am. And at the end of 10 minutes, I will bring all of us out of this meditation, and we will continue on with our service. And so as our meditation comes to a close, gently bring your awareness back into your surroundings, into your bodies, and as you feel ready, open your eyes. So I want to welcome those of you who have joined us while our meditation was in progress. We're so glad to have you here, whether virtually or in person. And let's proceed with this magical evening.
We're going to start our service right now by singing our opening chant, God is in this place, led by the lovely Tina Meeks. God is in this place. God is in this place. God is in this holy place. God is in this place. Love is in this place. Love is in this place. Love is in this holy place. Love is in this place. Joy is in this place. Joy is in this place. Joy is in this holy place. Joy is in this place. God is in this place.
Yay. And I'm going to invite the wonderful Sam Crutcher, practitioner, up here to do our invocation and to lead us in prayer. There you go.
Yes, hello. Unbeknownst to me, I was told I was scheduled to be here tonight, and, well, God welcomes even the latecomers, doesn't he? All right, so I'm starting with, thank you. So let us breathe together in prayer. Relax into your seat. Recognize that divine center where God is present. God, the good to which there is no opposite. The one life, the one mind, the one God that is everywhere present, all-knowing and all-powerful at all times. That God which is benevolent, magnanimous, joyful, abundant, creative, full of grace, full of light, full of beauty. I know that each of us are the divine inheritance of this creative joy that is God. The divine inner presence explodes within us to become what we are, what we already are. We bring it with us everywhere we go, and we are blessed by this inner knowingness, this inner light, this inner beauty that is us. And so I know we gather here tonight to celebrate and commune with that extraordinary power, that inner sight, that inner knowing, that inner love, that divine intelligence and infinite wisdom that is the God within. We are blessed by our musicians. By song, we are uplifted. Our hearts are full of joy at the experience of being here together. We are uplifted and inspired by the word of Reverend Sydney. We are blessed by the technicians and volunteers. We are blessed by each other, by holding hands, figuratively and literally, and knowing that together we are stronger than one. But each of us is strong enough to weather whatever storm comes, for we are the inheritance, the spiritual DNA, the tapestry of all that is. I'm so blessed to know this. My heart is full of joy, and with gratitude and joy and love, I say this is so, and I thank God. I release this word in the law of mind, knowing that it is so, and together we can say, Amen. Please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Yes.
My wish to you, my wish to you, my wish to you. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, your troubles will be out of sight. Well, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, your troubles will be far away. And here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star above the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Faithful friends who are near to us, gather near to us once more. And all those friends who are dear to us, keep gathering near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star above the highest bough, a merry little Christmas.
Whoa. Holy moly. So, you know that I was a professional musician for most of my life. That, unbelievable. And Sam doesn't just play the chord. He plays the adult chords. It's one thing to play the chords, but Sam plays the adult chords. I think we both studied with Sandy Courage at USC, or else we've talked about this before, but there's a thing that pianists do when they want other people in the room to know that they're being really, really hip. You play a chord and you go like this with your shoulder. So if you're ever at a club, a jazz club, and you see a pianist and he does this, it's only, or she, just wants you to know that, oh, that was really hip. I hope you know, I know that's. Show us a shoulder chord.
Well, here's a chord without a shoulder. Here's a chord with a shoulder.
There it is. That's it. There it is. That's how we do it. All right. Wow, I'm so glad you're all here. I'm going to hand something to Sam before I keep going. La, 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 la. La, 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 there you go. You never know when you're going to get a Christmas present. Okay, so I have some stuff I want to share with you before I get into the body of the talk, because I feel like we need to have lightness within us. I know I do. I always am finding those ways to find the light, to find the light, to find the light. And so I gathered some ageless wisdom. It's more sageless wisdom today. Here's one, and I think this is profound. This holiday season, no matter what your religion is, please take a moment to reflect on why it's better than all the other ones.
The season or the religion?
The religion. Okay, no matter what your religion is, take time to reflect on why it's better than all the other religions, right? Christmas is the only time of year you can sit in front of a dead tree eating candy out of socks. Phyllis Diller said, Christmas is a time when everybody wants their past forgotten and their present remembered. Get it? There you go. Shirley Temple, this is good. She said, I stopped believing in Santa Claus when I was 6. Mother took me to see him in a department store and he asked for my autograph. Oh my God, I know. That's a little heartbreaking. I once bought my kids a set of batteries for Christmas with a note on it saying, toys not included. Maya Angelou wrote, you can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle 3 things: a rainy day, lost luggage, and tangled Christmas lights. Yeah. And this one I really identified with. I haven't taken my Christmas lights down. They look so nice on the pumpkin. Another one, Christmas is a baby shower that went totally overboard. And it made me think of years ago when I have a cable popping out of my skin. Years ago it was Christmas Eve and I was driving past a Lutheran church, and on the sign it read, congratulations, it's a boy. Dave Barry wrote, once again, we come to the holiday season, a deeply religious time that each of us observes in his own way by going to the mall of his choice. Yeah. Henny Youngman, I love Christmas. I receive a lot of wonderful presents I can't wait to exchange. Here's one. Let me see if I've got this Santa business straight. Believe me, I have a talk. I've got the Santa business straight. You say he wears a beard, has no discernible source of income, and flies to cities all over the world under cover of darkness. You sure this guy isn't laundering illegal drug money? This is one that is near and dear to my heart. If you can't wrap Christmas presents well, at least make it look like they put up a good fight. All right, so my topic is unplugging from the Christmas machine. A few years ago, I found a book called Unplugging the Christmas Machine, and I remember being really excited as I read it because I thought we need to unplug my family's Christmas machine, my Christmas machine, me. I have to unplug me from this machine. So the book discussed all the ways in which we buy into the narrative, right? We buy into the narrative of not just this commercialism. Am I making up new words today? That might happen. And the monetization of a spiritual idea, but how we are addicted to our expectations about a Christmas holiday, right? So that thing about expectations, I know that for years and years, I was wanting the perfect Hallmark Christmas. I wanted the romance, the surprise, the gently falling snow, the last-minute miracle of a beloved family member or friend coming in, blah, 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 blah. You know, here's the thing. I know this is going to make me sound like a Christmas heretic, but I don't even watch the Hallmark Channel. I don't watch those movies. They just don't get me, or I don't get them. My expectations have much deeper roots. I grew up watching Miracle on 34th Street every year. I watched Meet Me in St. Louis, which is where that's where I first heard it. A Christmas Carol, White Christmas, and every Bob Hope Christmas special ever made, right? I also remember watching all of the Christmas specials by people. Okay, now some of you are going to remember Peggy Fleming doing a Christmas special. What? Yep. Who's Peggy Fleming? Ah, you better Google that one. Do you like ice skating? Okay. The Carpenters, Andy Williams, the King family. Who remembers the King family? Anybody? Yes. Okay, there you go. I knew you would. The Osmonds, let's not forget Perry Como, Julie Andrews, Kate Smith, Glenn Campbell, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, and the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. All of it. Now, the sad thing here is that the most culturally diverse program I saw every Christmas when I was growing up was a Charlie Brown Christmas. That was diversity, because everything else was obviously produced by white people, with white people, and for white people. So it was a rather skewed view of Christmas. Yeah, we all bought into it. I mean, I bought into it. And so my expectations grew out of this child's desire for magic and hope. Those are universal, though, right? We all want magic. We want the hope. But clinging to our expectations that magic and hope are going to show up in the form of perfect parents, perfect siblings, perfect in-laws, perfect cousins, and a massive pile of presents under the tree in the morning is the recipe for lifelong disappointment and even cynicism. Now, I don't know about your family, but my family would overdo Christmas hugely. I think because my parents didn't really know how else to love us sometimes. And so my brother and I would walk out in the morning, and it was obscene. There'd just be, you know, the presents would go from the fireplace all the way over to the dining room. And it was ridiculous because, you know, by 10 a.m., the batteries don't work, and we're falling asleep, and something's broken. I do remember, though, and this is the thing that I want to key us into, my dad used to take his boots. He had because sometimes he would go horseback riding, so he would take his boots, he would put them in the ashes of the fireplace, and then walk them out onto the rug over to the Christmas tree. So that when my brother and I came out, Andy, Christmas, look, Santa's been here, Santa was here. And so I remember that. I remember it really keenly. You know, I think we all have, to a certain extent, held on to our Christmas expectations, our holiday expectations. And in doing that, in many ways, I wonder how we have prevented ourselves from seeing the real magic in life. Are we looking for the Hallmark-produced magic? Are we looking for the movie-produced magic? Are we looking for the TV magic? Or are we able to peel away that expectation and come back into the real magic of what we can see and what we can give each other? You know, my awesome husband told me one year that he knew he could start to breathe again as Christmas approached after I had had my annual Christmas meltdown. I did not receive this information with very much grace, by the way, but I began to take an inventory of the years that had taken place before he told me this, and I realized that he was absolutely right. Don't tell him he was right, but he was right. My anticipation, my expectations would build and build, and this was as an adult, remember, and something, usually my family or something minor, you know, somebody not doing the right thing or showing up or just doing something to work my nerve would trigger me into what I can only describe as an adult temper tantrum. Slamming into the bedroom and like crying, you just don't even understand me. As an adult, how embarrassing. I was really good at helping others to diffuse their ticking Christmas time bombs, but I was very blind about my own inner holiday dynamite. It really took a while, and that information from him was so good to have because I thought, wow, what is going on that I'm allowing this belief in stress or expectation or something to just like build and build and build until I have to, you know, ruin everybody's day. What is that about? And like I said, I was good about seeing it in other people. Aren't we all, right? You know, don't we all have a gift for finding the faults in someone else? It's a gift. So I remember one of my girlfriends, in fact, calling me years ago in tears because her vision of the perfect cookie baking experience with her 2 toddlers had not lived up to her picture. So now she had this wonderful, idealized version of this whole experience. Sweet holiday music playing in the background, maybe snow gently drifting by the window in North Hollywood, and her 2 children happily getting along, lovingly maybe, you know, blowing a kiss and loving each other, singing along with the music, and patiently making and decorating these beautiful and, again, perfect gingerbread cookies, sugar cookie stars, pink hearts, green clovers, yellow moons. Oh, wait. She just really expected this whole thing to be this magical. She said, I've just always dreamed of making Christmas cookies with my kids. It's something I wanted all my life. And I've just put so much love and energy in, and it just was a disaster. And the reality was so totally not what she'd created in her mind. You know, she described it to me. There was flour everywhere, sugar all over the table, of course, right? The floors and the rug. Kids are throwing raw dough at each other, screaming, he got more candy canes than I did. I did not. Yes, you did. I hate you more, right? Anybody remember that? That was my childhood too at Christmas because we were just so amped up, right? So at the time I wasn't married and I didn't have children, but I saw how painful and frustrated my friend was. And I remember saying to her, oh, you sweet, poor, adorable thing. You actually thought that the goal of this was to make cookies, didn't you? Wow. If you want cookies, especially perfect Christmas cookies, then make them when they're like at nursery school or with a grandparent. But this wasn't for you to make cookies. This was for you to make memories. And, you know, as I said to her then, God always has a bigger idea. You thought you were going to make Christmas cookies. God wanted you to make Christmas memories. And it's so funny because I shared this with her recently. We hadn't talked about it in forever, and she was so funny. She said, I don't even remember that. I can't even remember that that took place. But what I had remembered about it was her anchoring in such a sense of disaster that she had maybe even ruined the Christmas cookie experience for her kids, because God knows they ruined it for her. And it's just this whole thing had gone so horribly south. But are we looking at what really has the grace and the joy in it? God wants us to make memories and to have experiences together. And that right there is what unplugging from the Christmas machine is all about. You know, we talk a lot around here about having a meaningful Christmas, a meaningful holiday, but it's so easy to get sucked into the Christmas machine, right? Especially decorations showing up at Costco and Target in August, by the way, and seeing Halloween candy right next to the Christmas candy and the Christmas wrap and the fake trees at Vaughn's and Ralph's. It's crazy, but I'm going to tell you, they're not going to change, so we have to. We have to change our expectations. I know that this season can have lots of meaning and lots of significance and even an expanding when we come back to perhaps the metaphysical meanings of these words that we hear so much more of at Christmas: Christ, Jesus, light. So Charles Fillmore, who was the co-founder of Unity, wrote this about Christ. It said, Christ is the divine man. Christ is the divine. Christ is that perfect pattern. Jesus is the name that represents an individual expression of the Christ idea. Christ existed long before Jesus. And that to me is so profound for each of us, that Christ within us, which we all come into this experience with that Christ light within us, long before we press through into this human shape, this human experience, and long after, like forever after, we leave this human experience. That Christ pattern within us, that Christ identity, that Christ light is there. But you and I are the Jesus. We are that human demonstration. We are that manifestation of it, because that Christ idea needs physical form in order to be manifest on the planet, in order to show up and to touch other people, to make messy cookies. You know, we have to have form. Christ abides in each person as his or her potential perfection. Jesus Christ, the embodiment of all divine ideas, exists eternally in the mind of being as the only begotten Son of God, the quote-unquote Messiah or anointed one, and is the living principle working in man. So in other words, Jesus the Christ, the teacher Jesus, who walked the planet barefoot, hung out with hookers and homeless people, and shared his tuna sandwiches, that guy, right? The human embodiment of the divine. Because none of us are here to be the perfect physical Sports Illustrated model of beauty, right? We are here as that divine, enrobed, enshrouded in whatever it is. Today it's black slacks. That is who and what we are. That perfection within us is our truth. It is our reality. Christ in you, the true light which guides every human coming into the world, is and ever has been in man and woman. Even the outer man was formed and came into existence through it. This is, quote unquote, Christ in you, the hope of glory. Colossians chapter 1, verse 27. So now as I approach the holidays these days, and I have happily done so without meltdowns for a number of years, I seek to uncover those areas within my heart that are calling for an awakening and a realization of greater connection with Spirit. And that's kind of my journey every day anyway, but there's something really more focused about doing it this time of year. I think because collectively there are so many of us who are really intending to have a new birth, to have a new awareness, to have an awakening. And so collectively, we all have this idea, and there's great power in that shared intention, that shared divinity. We are all looking to have a greater sense of meaning going forward. I think that what we are all in need of and want of is grace. That's the word that comes up to me, or comes up for me. The awareness of grace within ourselves, in other people, in our pets. It's really easy in our pets, right? In children, it's very easy. Our daily lives and the little gifts of light and hope that we see around us. Whether it be the grace of letting someone in front of us on the freeway, or they let us in. The grace of finding something you thought you'd lost. The grace of speaking to someone that you don't speak to but once a year. The grace of seeing a child's discovery of a leaf on the sidewalk. That's the grace. And to rediscover the awe, that AWE awe that we so want to have in our lives. Ernest Holmes, who founded this teaching, wrote in the Science of Mind textbook that grace is the givingness of spirit to its creation, and it is not a special law, but a specialized one. It is a specialized law. In other words, grace exists, but we need to recognize it. It is not something God imposed upon us, but is the logical result of the correct acceptance of life and a correct relationship to the Spirit. So in other words, it's back to that idea of intention, that we are intending grace. We are intending awareness. We are intending to know that this presence is fully animating us, defining us, divining us, to live in that space of availability, receptivity, of willingness to see beyond our human vision, to see with eyes that have nothing to do with these physical things in my head, but to see with the vision, spiritual vision, to see beyond the television that we've been raised with, but to see with spiritual vision, and to find those areas of grace and awe which cause us to recognize how important the present moment is and how important it is to be aware and awake to it. Ernest Holmes also wrote, "We are saved by grace to the extent that we believe in, accept, and seek to embody the law of good. For the law of good is ever a law of liberty and never one of limitation. Limitation is not a thing, not an entity, but a belief. Freedom is a divine reality." So when we hear people talk about being saved by grace, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me, it is about embodying and again living in that space, that sphere of availability to that law of good, that presence of good, and moving beyond and releasing ideas of duality or binary thinking into a place of there is only one life. That life is God. And we are all part of it. We are all celebrating it. We live and move and have our being in God, and God lives and moves and has its being in each and every one of us. Because without us, then God is not fulfilled. And God seeks to fulfill us, not to control us, but to fulfill us, and does so by means of the fact that we are here, right now, in this place. And there's some grace in that. There's a lot of grace in that. Think about the fact that whatever the mathematics, the divine mathematics took to get us all here in this room or online tonight at the same time, sitting where you're sitting at home where you're sitting, wrapped in your blankets or your jackets because the sanctuary is cold. But we're all here together. And I am fed by you as you hopefully are fed by me. I am nourished by the music. And this divine equation of spiritual math that is so beyond my capacity to even try to understand or do any of the multiplication on that. I can't do that. But look at us. We all got here. We all got here. This is the divine harmony and order that is presence, that is God. That's some freaking grace, man. That's some grace. So my experiences of grace now are along the lines of my family, serendipities, things that happen when I am awake to seeing them and to really notice and appreciate them. Here's one. We didn't expect my son to be able to fly home and be with us on Christmas Day. But now we know that he is. The job that he had, he got fired from, so he's coming home. And that's okay. He was very unhappy there. So he's coming home. Yay. Here's one. Our 18-year-old cat is still with us and is strong, alert, playful, and fun. That's grace. At the beginning of COVID, we had 3 cats. 2 of them made it known to us early on that they didn't want to play this game of COVID. And so one by one, they crossed that rainbow bridge. And this little guy whom we didn't expect to be around that long, because I swear to God, he has 9 lives and he's determined to take us through each of them. And he's had tubes in his stomach twice. And the stuff that he's had to go through, because he ate lilies twice, he's eaten Advil, and he's still just chugging along. That's some grace. Here's another one. Dr. Mark and I completed this year's version of our Christmas Eve candle lighting service this morning easily and quickly. That's grace. On Sunday afternoon, oh, this is really good. I found a used light-up lawn decoration on Marketplace, and we're going to put it on our front lawn because every house needs to have a way of celebrating Christmas with a Christmas cow. It's a Christmas cow. It's ridiculous. It's 5 feet. That's grace. It's weird, but it's grace. So I'm going to have a Christmas cow. That makes me happy. I don't have a Christmas list of what I want for Christmas. I didn't even know I wanted a cow. God had a bigger idea. Our new next door neighbors gave us a barbecue and smoker they didn't need. That's grace. All of the children that North Hollywood Church of Religious Science adopted for Christmas from North Valley Caring Center are going to have an amazing holiday because all of you showed up in such power and commitment and joy. That's grace. So, and I have not only found last year's unwritten Christmas cards, but I've addressed most of them. That's grace. I'm not saying that I'm actually going to send them before Christmas, but you know, it's more interesting to get them in the spring, right? So in this lead up to Christmas, I want to invite you to find your own ways to unplug from those expectations. Wake up to those things that you have been buying into. Wake up and step away from them. Let them go. Let go of those Hallmark idealizations. And by the way, Hallmark was my first real job. I worked at the Hallmark card store in Fashion Island, Newport Beach. So I have nothing against Hallmark. I loved it. But step away from those stereotypes and create memories and grace for yourself and for the people around you. Begin to think, what are the ways that you can be a gift for someone else? How can you be present for someone else? How can you offer grace? Choose to be grace for this next week and some change. And I promise you will be so glad that you did. Let's pray. Oh, thank you. All right. In this place of such divinity, of such joy, we surrender to the high and holy idea that we have all that we need right here and right now. That the grace of God is truly not just around us and available, but is within us and as us. And to the degree that we say yes and allow and intend, I know that we are all filled with grace as we go into this next week and a half and well into 2023. As we look for that deeper meaning, we realize that it is not to be found outside ourselves, but that we are the ones who give meaning to our own lives by what we say, what we do, and how we are with the people around us. We are all connected. We are unassailably, undeniably connected. We are one. And I know for each of us that we listen to those light-filled guidances that say, go here, help this person. Show up here, be love for that person. Hold the door for this one. Whatever it is, I know that we are filled and available, fully receptive and willing to be born anew in a place of deep knowing, deep joy, and grace. We unplug from any false ideas, any false narratives about what should happen, what should be, what someone else should do or be. And instead, we plug directly into Source, knowing that we are fully inspired, we are fully guided, we are fully lit up with love, with God. We are lit up with the wholeness that is life itself. And so for anyone whose need this season appears to be a physical healing, I speak my word for the deep, clear, perfect, open, broad realization that wholeness is the divine nature of God and therefore the divine nature of each and every being on this planet. And I declare that there is a willingness to reveal wholeness to surrender, to sit back, to stop efforting, to stop worrying, to stop stressing, and instead to allow a greater realization of possibility and grace. Fill each body, each mind, each soul. And if the need appears to be a financial one, I speak my word for the deep, clear knowing that God is the source. Everything else, a channel. But God will not be blocked, will not be denied, and will always, always, and is always, always sourcing and being of substance for each of us, that we are that presence, that we are that abundance, that we are that prosperity of God in full, free activity. Nothing can stand in the way of that. As we say yes to our true nature, divine, we do not have to step outside or audition for it or prove ourselves to be worthy of it. We just say, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God. And if the need appears to be one of employment or vocation, I know that the activity of God is right here and right now showing up as that right connection, that right place, those right people, joy, reward, integrity. Because the integrity of spirit will not be denied. It can only be expressed, multiplied, and celebrated. We are connected in it and as it. And for any other need that is appearing to tug at our attention, I know that God is there. Wherever that person is, God is there. Wherever that need is, God is there. Wherever that call for healing is, God is there. So we surround this entire planet with the knowing of the presence of love, of light, of life, of wholeness. That wholeness is now being revealed in Ukraine, in Russia, as divine right action that will not be denied. Because peace is the power at the heart of God. Peace is the power at the heart of God. Peace is the presence within each and every one of us throughout this universe. Will not be denied, can only be expressed and multiplied. I surround all beings everywhere with the knowing that they are loved, that they are fed, that they are warm, that all children are warm, that they are loved, that they are fed, that we step up in a greater way, transcending any idea of human limitation, and we move into our divine assignment to love and to feed each other. We step into our requirement to love and to be there for each other, to warm each other, to respect each other, to be love and grace for each other. For that is what it means to be a spiritual adult. And we know that we are that. We choose to be that on every level. And we are sourced in it, and we fly in that. We rise to that. We rise. Together we rise in the knowing of ourselves as divine, as agents of the divine. How wonderful it is. So I bless this church. I bless all churches, all temples, ashrams, shrines, synagogues, temples, all mosques, all paths to God. For I know that God is all there is, and how wonderful that there are so many ways to celebrate the grace and the truth and to say yes. So with the knowing that it is already so, and simply all we've done is just observe the nature of God that is already present, already active, already loving all creation, I release this word with so much gratitude into the law, letting it be so, and together we say, amen.
Struggle and no more strife.
believe it. So now is when we invite you to share your gifts and your love offerings. So if you would take those and hold them over your heart, and you can say with me our affirmation. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And in a minute, Sam will tell you exactly what to do with all of those gifts and those love offerings. Hold on for the moment.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Rest in God and say
The cow.
The cow.
Yeah.
Got it.
So in a little twist of irony, I thought yesterday was Wednesday. I was here at 6:40. The gates were closed, the lights were off. If I had only stuck around for 24 hours, I would have been on time. I love being early. It's something my mother gave me. Yeah. I am Sam. I am a practitioner here at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. I'm pleased to be here with you, late or not. These are our announcements. We make it easy for you to make donations to our church. The text to give number and the QR code are on your program, or go to nhcrs.org/give. Pray with a practitioner is available after service in person and on Zoom. The Wednesday night healing service with Reverend Steen, meditation 6:50, 7 o'clock for the service. Reverend Sidney's next topic next week is "Oh, What Fun It Is," sung to the tune of. We are having an Ugly Sweater Wednesday with Christmas sing-along, cookies, and fun.
So this is the thing. Ugly sweaters, for many of us, really are just a cry for help, right? So I will be wearing my cry for help. I want to encourage all of you to wear your ugly holiday sweaters or beautiful holiday sweaters, because some of you, and believe me, in this sanctuary right now, we need sweaters. But some of you probably have some really lovely ones. I, however, tend to go the other way. And so I hope that you'll participate with us, bring your friends, and come, and we're going to sing. We're going to laugh. My husband is going to play and sing. One of my girlfriends is going to sing. I'm going to play and sing. We're going to have a great time. This is how we unplug from the machine. We do it together, so I hope you'll be here. Sorry to intrude on
That's
your
all right.
territory.
Good information. I don't have a sweater. Can I come anyways?
Well, you could hang some lights and stuff on here, can't
All right,
you?
yeah, okay.
I've got a glue gun. I can help you with this.
Oh, my God. Join us and be sure to wear your
I'm
fave.
sorry, that's on Wednesday, a week from tonight.
Right.
So it'll be Ugly Sweater Wednesday on the 21st. And it'll be fun.
Who's in? All right. Living A Course in Miracles, Thursday, December 15th. That would be tomorrow. This amazing class, facilitated by practitioner Jean Laporte, meets tomorrow evening on Zoom from 7:15 to 9:15. All are welcome. We are currently rebuilding and invigorating our youth and family ministry. To do this, we need both youth and families. Whether you have children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, or friends with kids, please let them know that we have programs that support kids from toddlers to teens on Sundays at 9:45. Tweens and teens meet in the Ernest Holmes Room, and younger age kids meet in our junior church. Our youth program is all about empowering our kids and loving them into confidence, poise, and possibility. Christmas Eve candlelight service, Saturday, December 24th at 7 p.m. right here. Join us in person on Zoom, Facebook Live, or YouTube for an amazing Christmas Eve service that will include beautiful readings, singing, and candle lighting. Our featured vocalist will be Nadine Risha. Childcare will be available in the youth church. We look forward to celebrating with you. There will be no services on Sunday, the day after the 24th, December 25th, and Wednesday, December 28th, but we will have our regular services, 9:45 and 11:30 on Sunday, January 1st. Lunch in the Park, Sunday, December 25th. No service, but we're doing Lunch in the Park with Reverend Sydney. Please do. I'm here for you.
Apparently, I have control issues.
Yeah. Well, it's not on here, so you have to say it.
Well, no, I mean, because the Lunch in the Park thing. So here's what you do. Christmas morning, this is what we're going to do. We're going to sleep late, and then we're going to show up to bring food, to feed people. We're going to pack up tables and stuff here, and we have a sock drive going on with basic necessities of life, like toothpaste and toothbrushes and things like that. And Lynn and Colleen are going to be putting all of that together. And so join us at the park, or meet us here at, what time should we meet here? Like 12 o'clock and then go to the park at 12:30? No?
Earlier?
Little earlier. And then we can all drive to the park. If you can't get to the park until 12:30, we'll go to the park. And there'll be a map out there on Sunday for you, and we also have information for you on the website. But what a great way to spend Christmas, to be unplugged from the machine and to be able to help and to feed people and to serve them. I think it's going to be really lovely. So I hope that you'll join us. It's going to be a great day. I know I'm looking forward to it. We don't do presents so much at my house anymore because we've already got enough stuff. And boy, stuff means dusting, cleaning, taking care. And I've had enough of that. Storing. Yeah, then bringing it out, then putting it back. Right. I've had enough of that. So this to me is unplugging.
It's time to jettison.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are interested in participating in future Feed the Homeless Sundays, which are the last Sunday of the month, is that correct?
We're on the fourth Sunday of the month.
Fourth Sunday of the month.
Yes.
You can sign up on the patio for future endeavors if you're not available this Christmas Day. Zoom virtual patio before and after Sunday and Wednesday services. Zoom meditation every morning, Monday through Saturday from 7:55 to 8:15 a.m. Visit our website, nhcrs.org, to obtain Zoom links and more information about all our events and to sign up for weekly e-blasts and monthly newsletters. I'm out.
Right. So, I know that all of us are here for joy and for love. And so as we exit the sanctuary, or before we exit the sanctuary and sing one last time, I'm just going to have you repeat after me what we usually do on Sundays. I am at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's all stand and sing Blessed Always one more time, led by the lovely Tina.
Woohoo!